whenever you're
Okay, so we're going to make a what they call a candy rocket motor. Or it's made out of sugar, potassium nitrate, a tiny bit of sulfur, and a tiny bit of iron oxide, just as catalyst to help it ignite and accelerate the combustion of the fuel. You can make it just fine out of just sugar and potassium nitrate. So we have a 3/4 inch cardboard tube, and the first step is to make a nozzle, like you see on the space shuttle motors. So we make the nozzle by taking some concrete anchor cement, mixing up a little bit of it. I set the tube on this form here, just so I can get a nice conical shape. We mix up about a marble sized piece of this, drop it in there, tap it into place, pull it out, and then let it dry for about 30 minutes. This stuff dries really fast. Once it dries, I'm going to take a drill and drill a small hole down the center. And the size of the hole is real important, because that needs to release enough pressure that the rocket doesn't blow up, but not so much pressure that it won't get off the ground. This is slightly under 1/4 inch, which through trial and error is proven to work reasonably good with this particular rocket fuel. So here's the rocket fuel mixed up, and we're going to pour it in a small pan on a hot pad. It's really important you don't do this on a gas stove. And it's very important that you have a fire extinguisher. I've got 2 real close that I can get to within seconds. And then we're just going to heat this until it starts to melt and caramelize, and then we'll pour it into our rocket motor. And that'll take a few minutes to warm up.
Go ahead.
Okay, so our rocket fuel's melted. We want to just melt it enough that we can get it to pour into this rocket motor here. So you gotta be real careful. This is hot. You don't want to burn yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so now most solid rocket motors have a core, and we're going to put a core into this with a 1/4 inch dowel, a little bit of mineral oil so it won't stick to the rocket fuel. And we just run it straight down through the middle. You can fill it, line up with the nozzle. Got a little, I think that's going to work. I need to just pack that down. So we need to let that cool, and then we'll pull the rod out once it's cooled enough that the core shape will stay. Just to make sure that that end doesn't get blown out of there.
Here we have it.
crappy fuel.
Okay, so this is the Cremora non-dairy creamer and black powder. Let's do it. It just don't stop.